a squeeze there behind you. Sorry, Nick. Nick, could you just pass that down to Andrea, if you wouldn't mind? Thanks a lot. To Tanya. You're good, thanks. Jump in, Dominic, wherever you can find a spot. We'll sound. Yeah, that's good. Sound. You're welcome. Welcome aboard. Yeah, Tara's already registered. So wherever you can find a spot, I think
There's three of us.
that was. I'm not sure whose that was. There's three of you. Wherever you can find three spots. Are there three down there, or are there? There's three here. Yeah.
So one there and two there.
Hello there. I said, I better come down and say hello to you. Oops. Yeah.
How are you?
How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
Oh, good to see you. Yeah, a bit of colour.
A little bit. I'll go over the far side so there's not a shine.
You're nearly as red as what I am.
They're on a line, so we just kick off. That's not too.
No, that's great. And Sebastian.
Sebastian, you're very welcome. Good to see you. Is your phone on silent?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you missing one or two? It's, how this happens. Through one way or another.
Dear Fad, tá míle fáilte róh a nacht gotí an ócáid an specialta. You're very, very, very welcome to the IWS tasting tonight. We have IWS members here, we have folks online, we have guests from the Aviators, we have guests from ACE Personnel, and it's great that we're all here. We have guests from the Waterford Whisky Society. So it's great to have you here. So I'm Brian O'Donoghue, and this is Michael Higgins. We work together for ACE Personnel in the airport, and we got the idea of putting together a collection or a curated tasting of whiskies that are only available in the airport. ARI, or Orient International, commission or bottle or release whiskies just in the airport, either for themselves or else as a part of global travel retail, and these are a selection of them. So we're going to go through 3 whiskies and have a break, another 3 whiskies, and finish up. And you'll also notice that there are 2 spotlight samples on your tasting mat as well to take home, and Michael will explain all about those as we go along. The running order, we're going to go from Kilbeggan, Fircullen, and JJ Corrie. The idea being we have 2 single malts that are double distilled and then a grain. And then after the break, we have the Redbreast 18 all sherry, so that's a pot still, and then 2 more single malts, which are triple distilled from Bushmills. So I'm trying to get sort of compare and contrast in terms of flavours, rather than just going from the youngest to the oldest. So I am going to hand over to Michael to introduce the first whiskey.
Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah. Brian has thrown me in at the deep end. That's
right.
To start off. Our first one here is the Kilbeggan 11-year-old single malt. This was actually the first single malt that they did, and it is one of the last distillations from the old copper pot still that's there from the early 1800s. It was about 180 years old. If you go down to Kilbeggan today, you'll see it outside in the courtyard before you go in, because they replaced it. So this is one of the last 11-year-old. It's at 40%. Batch 1. I don't think there's ever going to be a batch 2.
knows?
and it's double distilled, and the maturation was in bourbon and muscatel. 9 years in bourbon and 24 months in muscatel. So it was an exclusive, or it is an exclusive in Cork and Dublin airports, but it's also available in the Kilbeggan distillery.
For considerably more, apparently.
Yeah, well,
So a customer told me on the way through the airport, I bought one of those for €30 more.
yeah, well, let's just say in the airport, duty free 61, or traveling within Europe 73. And if you're in Kilbeggan, it'll cost you 110. So you know where to buy your whiskey. All right.
Cheap enough to get a rider.
So that's it. What you call it? I find the nose kind of light, citrusy, wood, little bit of spice. The taste is a bit oily. It's reminiscent of a lot of whiskies back from the 1950s, 60s. And that light, fruity, kind of orchard fruits, and that it's at 40%. Personally, it's up to yourselves. I think it's about 6% light. If it was around 46, 48, I think it would have been fabulous. Anyway, so I'm not saying that it's not, but it's a really nice whiskey.
The rest are cask strength, though.
The rest are cask strength, yeah.
Sláinte what?
Sláinte.
Kind of grassy.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of. I actually had Napa Castle 1951.
All right.
And it's very similar. You know, you have that grassy, oily, diesel oil. Yeah.
It is kind of oily.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And if we get any comments from those online, we do have somebody monitoring the comments.
Yeah.
And
so we'll answer any questions that we can.
well, he'll answer the questions, or I'll just deflect.
No. Yeah.
If there were, and repeat it for the online folks, if there were 4,100 ish bottles, how many ish are left?
That's a question.
It came out.
When did it come out? It was 2 years ago.
It came out in. It came out in May 20. In the 11th of May 2022. It actually came out. Yeah. So
It's
for.
in the airports and in the distillery.
It's only recently been added to the distillery. So it was up until recently it was airport, just Dublin and Cork only.
Yeah.
And it's a good question.
Yeah. They also had a cask strength there. I actually have a bottle of the cask strength.
Have you tasted it?
Yeah.
Say that's something.
Yeah. That's why when you go from the cask strength to 40%. Yeah. So what do you think of it? please don't meet me with silence.
It's kind of weird. It's almost a pot still, single malt in terms of the oiliness, which I guess is the most developing. But it needs a bit more.
Yeah, it needs that little bit, and maybe that's why people didn't go back to buy a second bottle. But you know,
I think
it's
the nose promises a lot.
Yeah.
Once I was nosing it, I thought, wow, that's a great nose for an 11-year-old.
yeah,
You know. Then on the palate, it kind of loses speed pretty fast.
and it drops
But
off
it is,
quick.
I think it's a delicious whiskey. I'm not sure whether it's a Moorish whiskey. You know, it might be, but it's, the nose sets up a big expectation.
Yeah. I think the Muscatel, the Muscatel seems to, you know, is more forward on the nose than on the palate.
Well, if we were going to have only one at 40%, we thought we better start with that one.
And what did you say were the three price points like? 110, I remember. And then the other 60 something and 70 something.
61 duty free, 73 travelling within Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know why the still was decommissioned?
Sorry?
Do you know why the still was decommissioned? Just age or?
Age, yeah, there for 180 years. Yeah, you know, there isn't too many distilleries with really old stills. The only place that I know that recommissioned old stills that were thrown out was from Brewcladdock, that a certain Mark Rainier brought to Waterford, and they ended up patching them. You see the copper patches on them, and they eventually had to get rid of them because they were gone. They were, well, yeah.
So that all still is in the foyer of Kilbeggan, but the new still that's there is it's small, but it's spanking new, shiny, and there it is, sort of in a cubby hole of this old distillery. So it's odd to see this shiny new, bright pressure cooker looking still in there, and these old wooden boards and planks and rafters and so on, and sort of the creaks going on above.
I think they actually put a few dents and that in similar places where the old dents were. Right.
When we went there for the tour, he showed us the old steam engine.
Yeah.
So at Christmas time, they run the steam engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they bring all the kids in from the village and they go like, oh, there's hot chocolate, yeah, let's get whiskey and all that. And they run the steam engine. And actually run the old mills and everything else.
Right. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed that.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Well done. Shall we move on to number 2?
No.
No, we'll wait for Matt. All right, so number 2 is Fir Cullen, 23-year-old, released November in 2024. It is a single malt, double distilled by Noel Sweeney in the Cooley Distillery. Matured for 20 years in ex-bourbon barrels and then finished for 33 months, nearly 3 years, in Ruby Port pipes, or Ruby Port casks, I'm not sure, casks, pipes. It's 51.1% ABV. It says natural filtering. I'm not sure if that's non-chill filtering or what, but it's natural filtering. No added colour. 301 numbered bottles, released, like I say, in 2024, from one single cask for the Irish Whiskey Collection. You'll notice some of these, as we're passing around the bottles or the boxes, they'll have Irish Whiskey Collection logo on it, and that is the shop in Dublin Airport and Cork Airport. So it's the as opposed to Global Travel Retail, where you'll find at Glenfiddich travel retail only in 400 duty frees around the world, so it's not that exclusive. So where you see the logo, I'm just going to see, can I find it on the bottle? Yeah, you'll see it on the bottle, which is the Irish Whiskey Collection. That's literally the name of the shop. So, yes?
Tony Port finished it.
Ruby Port. And when you look at it, for a ruby port, it doesn't seem to have that much of a colour.
Looks more tonic. And the smelling of the nose on it is smelly.
It says ex-Ruby.
Ex-ruby port, yeah. But 3 years in ruby port, you would imagine that there would be more of a colour. But then again, maybe it's just a ruby port seasoned barrel. Slán tú á?
Yeah, you get the 3 years.
Oh, yum. Yum, yum.
Yummy, yummy, is right.
To use the official terminology.
They're the professional notes.
Actually, there's the thing.
I don't even know if it needs water. It'd be interesting to see.
I'm going to see if there's spare straws.
Yeah, well, not all of us, some of us experience
That's your water, is
Yeah,
it?
do you want it?
Let me just do a drop.
Yeah. I actually think it needs a little drop of water.
I think so too. Water brings out a lot of dryness.
Yeah, it's a kind of a thing with aged coolie.
There's it. Thank you very much.
I don't think we need water.
That's all. Say it again.
Back to sales happening, that was a lot.
When some, yeah. Have they?
They used to say how many bottles were in the batch.
This is batch 1. Oh, this is Quebec. Oh, I see. Right. That's good to know.
Batches of everything, so you see it through. So, you know, I say everything's clear.
Yeah.
Nice thing you can see the passport and then from Mickle, we're up to Russia, they're bringing out just wonderful. He said, well, I have to meet him on Monday. Should be interesting anyway.
So what do you get when you add a drop of water? What? Doesn't?
I think it's too stringent.
It does make it a bit dry, doesn't it? With a drop of water.
It's actually it's an issue. I think it's an issue with first fill bourbon casks. Yeah, in it. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Less. Yeah, yeah. If I I won't be in for 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
You're off tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah.
By coincidence.
Yeah.
I'll just mill around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, no questions from the. No, okay. Enjoying them? How's it going? Great, how's it going? Good to see you.
You told me that for Cullen 14, is it? What number you told me that one at the airport?
For Cullen 18. There was the prior to this was the 18. And that was 18 and. No, I'm trying to think what was the finish of the 18.
Was there about 8-11 on the sample?
I twisted your arm, put a funnel in your mouth and just poured it down your neck. Isn't that right? Coercion.
Willie's 21, 24. Then 25 was Red Breast.
Yes, that was lovely. At the launch was nice, yeah. But like
775 what?
I know. Well, you'll see when we're going to get to the Red Breast 18. I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't tried it before. How are you getting on?
I was reading that there were only 250
Yeah, so it is really a single cask. Because sometimes there's different interpretations of what single cask means.
What do you think of that?
My understanding is that this is one barrel that was emptied, and this is the
I think
full
it's
number of
about
bottles from it.
300. I'll tell you in a second.
What's the price? 350, 325.
Yeah. 325
For
duty free,
51%,
350 going to Europe. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you try it with a drop of water?
Yeah. Pardon?
I actually prefer ruby more than tonic water.
I get
Would you?
more
Yeah.
dryness, more sort of wood dryness,
Yeah.
not necessarily in a good way. But, you know,
Yeah,
everybody
some
has
tannin comes through. Yeah.
different palate.
Yeah.
You do? Absolutely. Without question. And inside that there's a little, if you open up, there should be a little label inside as well. Yes. I didn't say. I will say. Because I do have it written down. Correct. It is not. I didn't, but I'm going to say now. Thanks for reminding me.
Use sherry finishes rather than port finishes, which makes a difference.
So,
Price point.
exactly. So somebody asked me the very good question. How much is it? So, duty free, it is 295. Duty paid, it is 310.
Yeah. I think Mark was putting an extra markup on it there.
Just anybody needs that.
Was there a time when duty free was better value?
That's a very good question, and I'm going to deflect that question to those that have been working at duty free a lot longer than I.
It's 20 quid on something that the government is taking 40% on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. What's the markup, Mark?
There doesn't seem to be sort of like a logarithm or like.
Yeah.
It's a standard part.
So that's why the components that's in the whiskey as well. Something like that. If there's single malt in it.
There is no strict criteria because the airports work in a different system than what normally. So, yeah.
Like for example, the
move on.
46-year-old single malt from Bushmills, which is the oldest bottled single malt, is 11,500 duty free, and 11,500 duty paid. But if you're paying that kind of money,
See, I think the difference is we've started to use more cash. So back in the day, when you went and you got your like liter bottle of Jameson, it's like €30 was a bargain. Because the duty was half the price. Make sure we get our
But if you look at some of the others, you pointed me at a bottle of Bushmills that was, I think duty free was €32 and duty paid was €65.
The duty's €30.
That
Yeah.
seems, yeah.
Based on alcohol.
I agree with you, but no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. I think we'll move on from that.
so to step away from controversial topics that could get us into trouble,
Moving on swiftly.
given that this is being recorded, Michael is going to tell us about two spotlight samples. So all of the samples and glasses are from the Irish Whiskey Collection. They are, like I say, they're airport exclusives. However, we did get two other spotlight samples, which. And the spotlight sample, for those that aren't familiar with it, it's when something either has been given to us, or is a new release, or is pertinent at a particular time of a tasting, but doesn't necessarily fit in with the theme of the rest of the whiskies. So the first one is on the bottom right, and Michael is going to tell us a little bit about that.
Unfortunately, it's one of my favourite subjects.
Timer's on.
Timer's on, okay. This is a Pedro Jimenez sherry from the Jimenez Spinola bodega. Jimenez Spinola, there's 9 generations producing it. They only produce Pedro Jimenez. They don't use any other grape. And wondering about Pedro Jimenez, the grapes originally came from around the Rhine, Moselle Rhine region, and it was allegedly a guy by the name of Peter Simmons that brought them down there. So they couldn't pronounce Peter Simmons, so they called it Pedro Jimenez. So, and it's also one of the sweetest sherries. It's actually sweeter than Muscatel or Oloroso or any of the rest of them. And as we discussed earlier this evening, there's between 300 and 400 grams of sugar per litre. But with sherry, it is full of antioxidants, so it is really healthy. Very good for your heart and that, very good for the good cholesterol and that, yeah. Not so good for some other stuff, yeah. But the story behind this, and I'll go through it quickly. Myself and my colleague, we were looking to do something different, and we went down to Jerez over 3 years ago, and I'd been talking to a girl by the name of Laura Murphy, who sounds very Irish, but she's actually Mexican, and married to the owner, Jose Antonio Zanzara, the owner of the Jimenez Spinola. So anyway, it was her grandfather was Murphy. She explained to me, but she kept the name, and we got on well. So we actually bought a cask of sherry. They bottled it for us, and they exported the bottles and the cask that was over to us, which is going to lead on to the other spotlight afterwards. And so we brought that home. We sold it by subscription to our members, and it's an absolutely fabulous, I suppose, edition of Pedro Jimenez grape. With Pedro Jimenez, it's actually dried for 21 days out in the sun. So I think your Spanish is better than mine. Esola, you know, on the ground.
Suelo,
Suelo, yeah. Yep. See, yeah. Yeah, Suelo, yeah. Suelo, yeah. And it's dried out in the ground for 21 days, and that's why actually all the sherries that are there, they come from three white grapes: Palomino, Pedro Jimenez, and Moscatel, and they're all actually white grapes. But it's the aging in the sun that actually raisins those grapes and brings out the sweetness in it.
And Michael, when you say we brought over a cask, you're talking about the Waterford Whisky Society.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
As opposed to the two of us. We
No, we
Irish.
But I'd have to tell you, I did put the cask into the back of the car afterwards and brought it up to Hinch Distillery, which we'll talk about that afterwards. But if you're looking for a sherry, a unique sherry, you cannot go past the Jimenez Spinola, Pedro Jimenez. They have a range. They use only Pedro Jimenez in their what they call wines, and they call them different names, Old Harvest and that, rather than calling them Fino, Amontillado, Palo Cortado, Oloroso. They have different names, and I won't go through them because I'll be here for half the night. So that's it basically, and I hope you enjoy it. And
the idea being that to taste the sherry and the whiskey that's to follow on later, but it doesn't quite fit in with this evening. You're welcome to drink it this evening, but if you have the sherry first and then the sherry finished whiskey, which Michael will tell us about later on, you'll get a deep insight into it.
Yeah, a ton of great. It comes from the 1918 Solera. Sorry.
Quick question, you said that the sugar content was 300 to 400 milligrams per litre.
Grams
per litre.
Yeah.
What is the whiskey? How much sugar are we putting?
There's no sugar in whiskey.
You don't put the sugar in the whiskey.
You don't put sugar into whiskey.
Some of the residual sherry might have come through, so there might be a gram or two.
You'd empty the barrel.
Yeah.
You'd empty the barrel, there'd be some of it that would.
Yeah. Well, what you
Don't worry about your diet.
Yeah.
Worried about what?
Yeah. What you get is the flavour. You don't necessarily get sugar. It's the flavour profile from the cask, because the sherry is in the cask for 15 years. All it is 15 years. And the other thing, it's a natural fermentation. There is no alcohol added. A lot of Pedro Jimenez and Olorosos, you will find between 17 to 21% alcohol by volume. This is 15%, and some of the other sherries, which are comparable to the Oloroso and that, are between 12 and the 15. It's just natural fermentation. They don't add anything else to it. What they produce, they're actually an iconic bodega producer of the Jimenez Spinola, or Pedro Jimenez. And I'll pass this around.
You
And
said something about the Solera.
Yeah.
1918?
no, it's from the 1918 Solera. Yeah. It's a kind of a misnomer, even though it's the must from the original that keeps going through the Solera system. That's what it is. Like every year, they can take up to about, I think it's 28 or 30% from the bottom from the bottom of it. They can't take any more than that. So that when they take it out of the Solera, out of the bottom, then it's filled from the next level, and then the fresh one is put in. So it's a continuous process, and the musk that they used to start the process originally came from 1918. Yeah, from the 1918 musk. Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
I'll pass that around.
And it's somewhat of a tease before you get to trying that and the whiskey beside each other at your leisure. But we're jumping from PX Sherry Super Sweet to whiskey number 3, which is a grain whiskey. So on your top right in the glass, you've got the JJ Corrie, a 13-year-old grain whiskey, which was launched on the 12th of April 2024. This is a single cask of 13-year-old grain whiskey that was distilled in Cooley Distillery, matured in Kentucky bourbon barrels, they tell us. That barrel rendered 246 numbered bottles at 52.5 ABV. It retails at 117 duty free or 150 duty paid. If there was any left, and there isn't, it's sold out, so you're getting to taste it, even though it's gone. There is a 46% version of this, but it is a vatting of different grain whiskies. But this is the single grain from J.J. Corey, and bourbon matured only. Sláinte mhath.
Santa.
Creme brulee.
Is it a grain or a single grain? The Rothschild bottlings were
Good question. So it is a single grain. So it's 13 years old from one distillery of it's not a vatting of different grains. It is a single grain. Yes, indeed. Corn maize, yes. Corn or maize. That's my understanding. I would imagine it would be 95% corn, 5% malted barley, between 90 to 95%. But they would need the malted barley to for the enzymes. $52.5. Ooh. That's hot.
That's hot, yeah. Actually,
Seb.
yeah.
From my limited knowledge, what makes it, to my limited knowledge, they're known for blending. What makes it distinctive enough for them to bottle it compared to their other portfolio? Because it is a step away from what they're used to.
They being J.J. Corey. Yeah. So Louise McGuane, who founded J.J. Corey, had a long history in drinks trade. I think she was ex-Diageo, and single-handedly sort of resurrected the art and craft of bonding and bottling, which had sort of disappeared to the extent that when she was trying to get up and running, like revenue didn't quite know how to run this or how to work it. They had forgotten the rules because it had been so long, like 50 years since there were bonders, bottlers prior to that. I think, to answer your question, is like why just bottle this single cask? I think she just liked it. I thought, this is good enough on its own. It doesn't need to be vatted with any other grain. It doesn't need to be blended in with another malt. And there aren't that many cask strength grain whiskies. Well, certainly not in the airport. Glendalough have one. There are not that many other. I think grain whiskey is really underrated. And if it's managed properly, if it's matured properly in good casks, and this is what distillers have told me, that it's a whiskey that you can play with because it can be molded by the casks that you use. Whereas a malt or a pot still is going to start with its own distinctive flavour, whereas grain, when it comes off the still, it's not neutral by any means, but it's light and grassy and doesn't have a huge amount of flavour, so you can play with it, and it will take on the flavour of the casks that you put it into. And this is bourbon only, so it's not gonna have huge complexity, but it's still, I think it's nice. What do you think? The bottle, yes, sorry. There we go.
It's got great length, I think.
Yeah.
Great length on the finish.
That's a different effect.
It does have a lovely length to it, you're right, yeah. Keeps on giving.
Yep. Yeah, it's fab. for single grain. It's the best single grain that I've actually. It's the best single grain that I've tasted. Yeah. Is that cool? Something?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you looking for? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 115 and
117 duty free or 150 duty paid, but it's all gone.
Yeah.
No man, thanks.
It's early in the night, so you're able to do it.
That's why I'm pouring it now.
Not your first rodeo.
I do want to sit down and take notes. Impressions? You don't like it because
Well, how are you?
Great young fellow.
Good.
How are you?
Not too bad.
you
Not
drink
too bad.
very good pastry, clearly.
I was talking to Green and he's going,
Yeah. What you call it? I've used sample bottles so that I'd be able to go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I wasn't even thinking that far.
Just I am.
You won't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
I never thought we should probably organise a swap for you, but you're home.
No, it doesn't matter.
Which one? The
Make no difference.
for colours?
Yeah, exactly.
First row.
Yeah.
So, here.
I will say one thing for you, Mark, and I just said to Mark.
Well, you've got the addition of the Oloroso
and all that
cans.
stuff. Your memory is really good. But mine is fucked.
I'm looking to remember someone's name that I mind.
No, but I do know when you're passionate about something, it's all there.
Yeah.
But I do know as you get older.
Yeah, but sometimes somebody has to ask me a question to get it out of me.
So we're just going to take a 10-minute break, comfort break or pint break, and we will kick off again at 8:25.